Well, the highly anticipated KwaZulu-Natal ANC elective conference set for this weekend has been delayed by yet another week. The conference will now be held between the 22nd and the 24th of July. Several provincial leaders are set to contest the chair position held by Premier Sihle Zikalala, who's seeking re-election. Today, the party held a provincial elective committee in Durban ahead of the conference. ANC reporter Sipa Mandla-Goga joins us with the latest. So, Sipa, there's a lot going on in KwaZulu-Natal, but I think one name that springs to mind for many of us is a very powerful woman, Zandile Gumede. Talk to us about the slates and who's doing what as we build up to this conference.
Too many slates, too many leaders are vying for leadership positions in KwaZulu-Natal, and those include the current chairperson of the ANC in the province, Sihle Zikalala. There is Nhlanhla, who is the former DG of the province. Businessman there, Sandile Zungu, is also vying for a leadership position. There is the issue of Siboniso Duma, the former leader of the Youth League, and also too many people are said to be contesting for other positions as well. So if you're talking about that, you include in the mix the issue of Nomusa Dube-Ncube, who is the current provincial treasurer of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. She's also set to contest for that position of the chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. Zandile Gumede is vying for the position of the provincial treasurer. Initially, that's the position she had wanted to contest before the National Executive Committee of the ANC amended the resolution that criminally charged leaders should not be allowed to contest for leadership positions, or should I say criminally charged members should not be allowed to contest for leadership positions, be it at a local level, regional level, provincial level and national level. So it remains to be seen whether Zandile Gumede will contest. Those who are pushing for her, they are saying she needs to contest for the position of the provincial treasurer. However, it's going to be a difficult one because the president has been set in other provinces, including Limpopo, whereby Denim Caesar wanted to contest for the position of the provincial secretary. However, he was unable to do so because he is facing criminal charges. So Zandile Gumede remains a dominant political player in eThekwini as the ANC's biggest region and KwaZulu-Natal politics. However, with her contesting for the upcoming conference or during the upcoming conference, it's going to be a difficult one. But the ANC in KZN does concede that it's unprecedented that you will have more than 5 slates contesting for the leadership positions. Let's take a listen to Tlhakane Pontombela, who speaks for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal.
Standard PEC meeting preceding the last PEC before the conference. We should be getting the reports from the Provincial Working Committee, giving us an update on the progress we've made in regard to the status of readiness for the Provincial Conference. The last weekend for the PGMs was yesterday, but we understand there were technical glitches at the head office with the server. Hence, there are a number of branches which could not proceed with their BGMs because they could not get QR codes. So that might necessitate that we give them a space, probably next weekend, as the last weekend, for them to convene their BGMs. But the report we have presently informs us that we've got enough numbers to proceed with the conference, notwithstanding what would have transpired over the weekend. So we've met the threshold of 70% of branches which are eligible to attend the provincial conference scheduled for the 22nd of July that weekend.
Is it definitely taking place on the 22nd? No more postponements?
Definitely on the 22nd, 23rd and the 24th, we are having a provincial conference of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal.
All right, so he seems pretty confident that it's all going to happen on the 22nd, despite the postponement, but explaining there quite clearly that there's lots of branch general meetings that haven't happened, and it's a big region. So I guess it makes sense that there's a lot to pull together. Talk to me about some of the big issues that are at play here.
Well, it's the issue of the disputes, unresolved appeals processes that need to be finalized before you can go to a conference. Remember, there have been issues in the Eastern Cape, Gauteng, as well. So the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal is trying to avoid a similar situation whereby they will go to a conference, spend hours, even days, discussing the issue of the credentials that are always highly contested, but also some structures of the organization will go to the conference and try to prevent the conference from starting because their grievances would have not been listened to by the time the conference starts. So the clip that we played earlier on was Tlhagani Pontombela explaining why they decided to postpone the conference, but at the same time give branches and structures of the ANC enough time to nominate and finalize their nomination processes for the leadership positions of the ANC, as Tlhagani Pontombela concedes that it's unprecedented to have so many slates vying for leadership positions. Let's take a listen.
There is a new war on violence. It's about the drug wars, the tough wars. People are fighting for the territory to control in selling drugs. That's what transpired in my respect. It's what transpired in Wamakuta. It's what transpired in Hammarsdale. That when you follow up those matters, those are the drug tough wars. It's not pure criminality. So these are the issues as a leader of society you must make an introspection on. Are you doing enough to turn around that situation? Because if you're not turning it around, what happened in Gauteng, in KZN ANC normality, just because sometimes media has not taken notice of those matters. If you go to the crime statistics, we have reached now the level of Kukulete and Kaelisha, your Nanda, your Mblas, your Places Layer police station. So it tells you that challenge, that until we do that proper introspection and we put in proper infrastructure in place and extra resources of police and resources and otherwise, and government programs to try and turn around the situation and addressing the issues of youth unemployment, these problems will always be there within our society.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one for the ANC, that KwaZulu-Natal elective conference. Thank you very much for that update. That's our senior reporter, Sipamandla Goge.